Ben?
Yes, Manning. So I am somebody who struggled with obesity, physical obesity, mental obesity. Grew up here in Miami, born and raised like Amber. We were just talking about that. We're pretty rare. But I followed a standard American diet. My mom actually worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. So you know me. I was a happy kid eating fried chicken, but not so healthy for you. So I had really bad behaviors as a kid to addictions to drugs, did drugs, sold drugs, addictions to food, video game addictions. And when I was 23 years old back in 2007, I was on the internet looking for ways to end my life. It was that bad. Wow. And I kept thinking about my mother and the devastation it would have caused her. So it forced me to figure things out and not take my life. And at this point, I was 250 pounds, 34% body fat, erectile dysfunction, high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels. Like I was tiptoeing my way through life, hoping to land safely on death's door. It was like a going through the motions sort of thing, and I was lost. And then I started reading books on self-development, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and it just helped me take ownership and own it and take responsibility. And it started with a mindset shift and taking that responsibility, and then it transferred into health and fitness and eating real food. And I went through this incredible transformation. I lost 80 pounds in 9 months. I went from 34% body fat at my highest to 6% at my lowest. Wow. And it's what got me into the health space 17 years ago. I actually had a gym here in Miami, a CrossFit gym for 5 years. From 2013 to 2018.
Where?
Live Free CrossFit on Biscayne
No
Boulevard.
way.
Yeah, that was me and John Kelly's gym.
I love John.
Yeah, you know John? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so John and I used to do MMA training together. And
that's awesome.
Like, he was a savage. And
for sure.
Like, we used to just go at it.
I didn't know that.
The tire flips and the sledgehammer and the weight vest.
Let's send him a photo of us today. Yeah.
No, he was just here this morning.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Let's send him a photo. I love that.
No, that's so awesome.
So
and you know Matt, is it
Pack.
Matt?
Matt Pack. Yeah. Primal Fitness,
so that was that's how I met John.
Got it.
We were in Matt's backyard doing crazy workouts, like pulling his truck.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of friends
Small
in common.
world, man.
So I had the gym for 5 years. And then in 2018 is when I got into more of the metabolic health space. I rebranded into Keto Camp. And then we dominated the keto space, the fasting space in terms of awareness. And now I have this brand new book that just became a New York Times bestseller, Metabolic Freedom. And we are on a mission to reverse obesity, reverse diabetes, and help people understand that their body is not broken. It's being interfered with. Here's the interference. Let's remove it. And your God healing body will heal itself.
That's unbelievable. It's crazy. When you were sitting there telling your story and you said you're obese, I'm looking at you and I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
What? I always love those just 180 transformations. You know, when people like the David Goggins, those kind of stories that it's literally obese to look at you now, like you're a freaking stud. So
thank you.
It's awesome, man. Let me ask you this, because obviously you don't just you don't go from suicidal thoughts to just now I'm going to be a reader and read about with Tony Robbins. I don't think it happened, or did it happen like that? What do you think did it to get you to really, really want to make a change?
What I've learned is that we need to change our paradigm. Our paradigm is in our subconscious mind, meaning 95, maybe even close to 100% of all of our habits, our habitual nature is in our subconscious mind. So when we are getting poor results, we need to change that paradigm, and it'll change the results. But there are only two ways to change it. An emotional impact is one way. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by that, like a cancer diagnosis, a near-death experience, the loss of a loved one. Usually that's enough pain that you've just experienced, and it's like something that was unexpected, that it forces you, and it's a quick shift, like you mentioned, to start figuring things out. Now, ideally, that's not the best route to go through because it's unpredictable and there's a lot of pain you experience. Mm-hmm. The second route, this is the route that I took, was the constant spaced repetition of the new idea. What I mean by that is it didn't happen overnight. We were just talking about this, right? It was mastering a habit, what I call a tweak a week. So I was in so much pain. I knew it was not going to take my life. I knew I wanted to change, and I didn't see any way out, but I saw that if I could make some small changes in my routine and get some momentum, I could feel like things are moving in a proper direction. So for me, it was just doing that. It was reading for 15 minutes a day. and then 30 minutes a day. Then it was getting steps in, then it was working out, then it was eating real food. So it didn't happen overnight, but I started to stack one habit after another habit. You have a great law in your book that you just shared about not going more than 2 days with, what was the law of habits that you shared earlier?
Yeah, so it's the law of habit and behavior change, and there's 3 of them. But the first one is never miss 2 days in a row.
That's it.
Hey, like I'm trying to institute. It could be whatever habit you're talking about, and there's a circumstance that just completely throws you off one day. Well, great. You hit it Monday, you hit it Tuesday, you miss it Wednesday. Well, Thursday is your most important day. You do not miss that day to keep you going again and getting back on that train.
So that's kind of what I did. I made sure I didn't go more than a day or two without something that was positive in the right direction. So I just gained momentum, man. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, like so many people. And what you do and what you do, Justin, in our space, it's so important because people have gone down the medical route, the conventional medicine. They're treating symptoms. I visited my doctor. Dude, I was 23 years old, low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. And my doctor never asked me the question, what are you eating, Ben?
But he wanted to give you a prescription, though. I bet you wanted to give you many.
Oh, yeah. He suggested many prescription drugs.
Without asking you what your exercise routine is.
None of that,
what are you
bro.
putting in your body?
So what conversations like this, what you're doing, it's so important. And yeah, momentum, and then it just snowballed into some great traction.
Was there anybody in your life at that time that stands out to you now looking back on it that was like an accountability support system?
I didn't have anybody in person, but it was the books that I kept reading.
Okay.
That these were like mentors from afar, and they kept inspiring me. And I kept thinking about my mom, and there's a lot of things I wanted to do for my mom that I was not able to do at that time. So she wasn't necessarily there as an accountability person, like coaching me and guiding me, but just thinking about her and having her in my life inspired me to keep going. Yeah.
And not to like harp on this, but you're here. Was there anything that derailed it in the beginning?
Well, of course. So there's always going to be those setbacks, right? Yeah. So
because what I'm trying to do is I want to frame it because I truly believe that sometimes people watch these things and see you, and they're like, nah. They're like, it wasn't that hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're such a specimen. Again, it's often like when people walk into this place and they see what this is, and they don't know what it took to do this. They don't know that this was a 17-year journey to be able to sit in this office.
I'll even add, Manning, it's not even what it took to get here. It's what it takes to sustain it. It's what it takes to continue to do it. To continue to grow, because the business that you have today here, the business that you have today, the business I have today is the smallest it will ever be. And it's a continual growing and iteration of the vision of what it is that we're going for. So just because we're here today doesn't mean the foot comes off the gas. It's simply going to look differently because we're at a different place.
And also, it's not a ramp.
No.
You know, it's a freaking roller coaster ride. Right. So that's why I was trying to take them back to the roller coaster ride of it, the highs and the lows and the mediums. Like, so is there anyone that kind of stands out to you back then?
Yeah, because your environment will pull you back when you start to make these changes. I'm sure you've experienced it, Manning. I know you've experienced it, Justin. And what I've found is that when you change, you become a threat to people in your life who don't change. And it's not because they want you to be unhealthy.
When you like write it down in your mind, it's like, ooh, that's it.
Yeah, that's a good one to remember, right?
Yes, really good.
It's the truth. And here's how it manifested for me, and here's how it's going to manifest for people. If they're used to you going out with them and drinking like I did, eat pizza, drink alcohol, play video games at night, and that's not serving you anymore and your future self, and you tell them, I can't do it anymore, they're going to say things to make fun of you. Like I remember John Kelly. Okay, perfect. This is different than in my transformation, but John Kelly is a perfect example because there became a point in my career where I was in a fantasy football league with John Kelly and other people, and it was requiring so much of my time, and I wanted to build my business, and I told John and everybody else, I'm not joining this season. And they would all make fun of me. Yep. Like, who are you? Who do you think? That's what's going to happen. That's what happened to me during my weight loss transformation. They wanted me to drink the beer, eat the pizza. And I said no, and they would make fun of me. And what I understand now is that the journey might suck sometimes. And like you said, it's not a straight line. It's always up and down, up and down. But at the end of the month, end of the year, you want it to be a lot higher than it was before. And the setbacks are not important as the get back. So when you have the hiccup, the comments, the setback, or whatever it is, it's all about an opportunity to learn, refocus, and then keep going. So the philosophy that I created back then, that I still follow to this day, and I teach it to my students, is that When you change, it tends to suck. When you start going to the gym and working out, it might suck. You're going to get sore. You have to develop discipline. But the formula that I've adopted is success, right? You embrace the success. You keep moving forward. So I just kept that in front of me. And the setbacks, the speed bumps never turned into stop signs, if you will.
I mean, for us, we're constantly trying to, I mean, I'm doing it right now, constantly, even though you said you're not smart. You are smart. You're very smart. Is that you want to surround yourself by people that are smarter than you, and especially in the areas that you're not as smart. Like, and that's the definition of a good leader to me. You know?
And that's exactly how we get people to start having goals and setting goals. Their environment.
About to say the same thing.
Share a little bit more, because it's their environment that's causing the lack of purpose, that's causing the lack of discipline, and essentially just an awful life. So yeah, share more about that.
When you think about who you surround yourself with, I always say you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. Mm-hmm. So I can't change what you think. I can't change what I want you to do, but my gosh, I could change the people around me that will now help me think bigger, help me be more devoted, help me find my purpose and what ultimately I was put on this earth for. I always say we're born twice. Once when we're actually born, and the second when we figure out why. And that, I think, is just so exciting. When we are able to truly, there's truly a switch that flips. I know it probably happened for you, and it's not just once in your lifetime. It iterates.
Yeah.
It's an iterative pattern. There's certain experiences that you've been through, Manning. There's certain experiences that you've been through, Ben. There's certain experiences that I've been through, Justin, that because I went through them, because I experienced them, because I had people around me speaking life into me, telling me that I could do something, telling me that I was intelligent, I had a call, I was worth something, that all of a sudden I was like, man, maybe I can do that. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can dream. Maybe I can create vision. Maybe I can take a step in faith. Maybe I can do something that is uncommon and help me think bigger than I did before. Man, I go back, I had the worst scarcity mindset ever. I grew up in a family where there was always budgets around. My dad came from a family that was war torn from Germany, that it was like penny counting and food stamps. And this is just what I grew up in. And so this scarcity mindset just crippled me in a lot of ways for a lot of my life, that I never thought there was going to be enough. If I didn't say yes to this opportunity, no opportunity would ever find me again. And it was that's all I ever saw. But as I was able to get around people who saw things differently, thought bigger, dreamed bigger, saw zero bars on anything, saw no ceilings, and I saw what was possible, and then I allowed myself to be mentored by them, taught by them, coached by them, spoken life over me, my gosh, the doors, the walls, the ceilings blew off that house. And it's the people you have around you, the people you choose to mentor you, the people you choose to have in your environment that will truly either create your walls, create your house, or ultimately renovate that thing so there are none.
So good. Can you resonate with that? Do you feel like that's part of your journey as well?
Yeah, I mean, is it Tony Robbins that said the 5 people?
It was Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn. That's right. I knew it was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he mentored Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he probably said the same thing from that. But I mean, it's not like that's a mystery, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you're around toxic people, you become toxic. If you're around people that inspire you and that help you grow and speak life into you, then you're gonna, elevate. For me, what I've tried to do, and it kind of goes back to like what you said, is that I think sometimes for me, and again, this is just me, is that I sometimes isolate and try to do everything on my own, even from a personal growth standpoint. Like, I'm gonna get alone with God, and I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be me and Him, and I'm gonna figure this out. And I think recently I've done a little bit better of getting around like-minded men and having the deeper conversations and even just allowing them to speak life into me, instead of like kind of isolating. So that would be kind of where I am today as I get older, is like, like VUCON just happened. And I mean, what you think it won't, like, I've been in the church since I was, came out of the womb, and like sometimes you're like, it's my, I've been to these things, it's not gonna be that, but wow, like, like getting around that many people, and just the love and the true, like I felt, obviously I believe it was the Holy Spirit, but like the love in that room was unmatched. And it was, and actually the section that I was in, it was mostly men. Like it was a large group of men, and very successful men.